Hello, my friend. I'm really glad that you're here right now. But before we begin, I want you to take a slow breath in. And then I want you to take a slow breath out. And the reason for this is to just let yourself arrive here, right now, in the present moment. Because for the next few minutes, there is nowhere else you need to be. There's going to be nothing to solve, nothing to prove. There's nothing to figure out. This is just now, this moment. Because if you've chosen to listen to this audio, which you have, I imagine you're standing in a place that feels familiar to many of us for so many different reasons. It's a place between what was and what will be. It's a place where one chapter has ended or is in the process of ending, and the next chapter hasn't fully revealed itself yet. It's that in-between space. And let's be real, it's an uncomfortable place to be. Because our minds, our human minds, they crave certainty. We want the answers. We want guarantees. We want certainty. We want to know that if we take that next step in any direction, everything will work out exactly as we hope it will. But here's the thing, life rarely unfolds that way. The truth is that the most meaningful chapters begin in seasons of uncertainty, not in crystal clarity. And I've learned this the hard way over many, many years. Because there have been moments in my life where everything I thought was stable suddenly wasn't. The plans changed, relationships changed, the future that I thought that I was moving towards completely disappeared. And then there were times when I found myself asking, well, what am I supposed to do now? Maybe you've asked yourself this question too. Perhaps quietly, maybe in the middle of the night, waking up out of a deep sleep in a moment of anxiety where you're asking yourself, what do I do now? Perhaps it's been recently, or maybe it happens more often than you'd like to admit. But what I've discovered is that creating your next chapter doesn't begin with having a perfect plan. Far from it. It begins with having the courage to stop clinging to the old one. So I want you to imagine, and this is a really fun exercise, that your life is a book. Most people spend a surprising amount of energy rereading chapters that have already ended, doing things like replaying conversations in their head, having imaginary conversations, revisiting disappointments, reliving mistakes, trying to understand over and over again why things happened the way that they did. And while reflection is really valuable, there comes a moment when we must gently place our finger on the page and ask, what story am I writing now? What story am I writing now? Not yesterday, not looking back, not hopping in your time machine or taking a little adventure with the ghost of Christmas past. We're not looking at last year, we're looking at now. Because whether we realize it or not, we are always writing the next chapter. We're writing it with our choices, our attention, with our belief systems and the way that they manifest in the world. We're doing it with our willingness to begin again, with our willingness even to press play on an audio like this one. So let's do, just quickly, another simple exercise together. Take in a breath and ask yourself, what am I ready to leave behind? What am I ready to leave behind? To put it down, to step away from it, to start fresh. Perhaps it could be an identity or a habit or a fear. Perhaps it's a dream that no longer belongs to you. And so just keep in mind that there is no right answer here. It's simply noticing what arises and then take a pause. And now ask yourself, what is trying to emerge? Not what should emerge. We don't want to place expectations on ourselves. And it shouldn't be about what other people expect either. It's what is naturally trying to emerge from within you. What is the universe, God, divine intelligence asking or trying to make emerge from within you? Is it a project or a business or writing a book, some form of creative expression or art or a healthier relationship with yourself or perhaps a new way of living? But I want you to listen carefully. Listen very carefully. The answers are often quieter than we expect. They rarely arrive with like fireworks. They just don't. More often, they arrive as whispers, tiny little pieces of curiosity that we feel from within. Perhaps it's like a longing, knowing that you are meant for more. It's a gentle pull towards something that you can't quite explain. One of the greatest mistakes we make as humans is believing we need certainty before we move forward. We don't tend to leap until that net appears. But certainty is not what creates momentum. It's action that creates momentum. You do not need to see the entire staircase. You only need to see the next step. And often that next step is surprisingly tiny and easy. It's things like sending an email or making a phone call or signing up for class or starting the first page, putting that first beautiful brushstroke of paint on the blank canvas. It's creating that first post or applying for that opportunity, having the conversation, the hard conversations. One step, a tiny step, then another, then another, then another. And then before long, a new chapter begins to take shape. And so as we come to a close here right now, I want you to leave. I want you to leave with the feeling that anything is possible, that you are creating your reality from the field of infinite potential. So here are 3 questions. You may even want to write them down, by the way. So if you have a pen handy, you might want to do that. It is this: what am I ready to leave behind? What am I being invited to create? And what is one courageous step I can take within the next 24 hours? I'll go through these 3 one more time, just in case you didn't catch them the first time. The first question to ask yourself is, what am I ready to leave behind? The second question is, what am I being invited to create? And the third question is, what is one courageous step I can take within the next 24 hours? And then I want you to do something that is often the hardest part, and that is to trust whatever comes. You don't need to have your entire future figured out, mapped out. You don't need that 5-year plan. You only need to remain willing to participate in it. Because your next chapter is not something you find. It's something that you create with one decision. Could be a tiny decision, one choice, one act of courage at a time. And I've been thinking about this, and perhaps the most beautiful thing of all is this: you do not need to become someone else to begin your next chapter. You just don't. You simply just need to trust the person that you are in the process of becoming. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. And if you're ready to continue this journey with a community of conscious creators, I'd love to welcome you inside Manifest with Sarah Prout. You can click on the link that is in this audio or the most recent email that I've sent you, and I would love to invite you to join the community. Until next time, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and turn the page. Lots of love, and bye for now.